Sometimes it's hard for me to remember how much Tantra has changed my daily life, because now it is part of my daily life. But I think I can summarise it and say that my life now is just so much more full of joy and blissful sensation on an everyday basis at the simplest things, from sunlight, from nature, from smells, from touches, from seeing something beautiful, and it touches me.
Well, I'd heard of Tantra before, but I still thought it was very physical. I didn't realise how spiritual actually it was as well. Whereas in the past I've sort of felt that it was like there was a chunk missing, or there was always something not quite right. Now I feel more complete and more content. And I think Tantra has actually allowed me to, has helped me do that, and helped me develop myself into a far more complete person.
I had an idea in my head of what I should be like. And now I'm very much more comfortable just being myself. Warts and all, beauty and all, everything and all.
Having a sense or an impression of how that bowl might feel or look, or how you might sense it. A bowl that encompasses the whole of your pelvic cavity.
I think generally since having done Tantra, I'm also a lot more in my body. A lot more at peace with my body and its shape and its size and all of that, but also a lot more feeling the sensations of what it is to be alive.
The specific benefits I've had are absolutely about freeing myself up in my body and about getting in touch with the impulses that I'm feeling all the time, that are telling me something, and kind of sort of learning that language and going with it. And it's taken me to some fantastic places. It's just opened my experience of myself and the world around me up, absolutely. And it does every time that I come to do some more work.
People often think that Tantra's, when you sort of mention the word Tantra, and they sort of say, what, tantric sex? And it's just like, it's really, sort of, no. It's not, it's not just about sex, it's about sexual energy that's, that you use to heal with. But it's difficult to sort of explain that, because there's so much odd ideas about what it is.
Yeah.
I think people immediately go off to sort of fantasy in their heads when you use the Tantra word, whereas actually it is a spiritual path. It just happens to be one that embraces all aspects of humanity, including your sexuality. And if you can bring your spirituality into the way you live, you've got to bring it into the way you make love. That's really why I wanted to come to Tantra. So I couldn't understand how lovemaking and sexuality could be excluded from spirituality.
You made me feel angry. It's what you did. You made me feel angry. You made me feel sexy. You made me feel. So how would it be if actually that other was simply a mirror of those feelings, that person gave you the chance to feel the anger in you, the love in you, the sexiness in you? How would it be if whatever you felt in this relationship in this moment was also something of you? So we'll see one more namaste. And namaste again means I honour you as a mirror of myself. What I feel in relationship with you is about me. What you're doing is you're showing me more of me. Thank you.
It's sort of almost like a pattern, isn't it? You just fall into patterns around relationships, and this enables you to bring back that kind of spark that kind of ignited it in the first instant.
He gets bored with me, obviously. And it brings back that spark. Okay. That's fine, that's a source of the same value.
I only came to the first workshop as a single woman, and then after that I was in a relationship. And coming to that first experience, I was terrified. I was looking around the room, looking at all the guys and thinking, there's no one really that I'm very attracted to, and what if they're attracted to me, and how do I handle that, and what's going on? And I had so many nerves. And the exercise that created some power and some peace for me around that was the yes, no, maybe, please exercise. and learning about the boundaries. It all comes down to the boundaries, learning about the boundaries. Once you know about boundaries, and once you can express your boundaries, once you can say no powerfully, then all the rest is so easy to fall into place. And by the end of it, I saw, looking around the room, so many beautiful men. And not necessarily that I felt attracted to, but that I felt really open-hearted with.
The love, the intimacy happens in each moment. And each moment, if you can be aware of where it's your no, where you're not in your truth, where it's your yes, where it's your maybe, you're just feeling into actually what's okay for you, what's right for you. And your please, where you're really saying, yes, this is wonderful. That will help you be honest in your communication and be honest to yourself in your life. So I'll say more a little bit later about how this can apply in lovemaking and also in the whole of life. What we'll do is show you the demonstration first, however. And as you watch the demonstration itself is an initiation so that as you watch, you'll feel things. And that is part of the experience. So just whenever you're ready, Claire, if you come and sit, and then you can complete the two of you with a namaste.
I think connection, connecting, was like a word in our relationship, like a word to go to, or that would be, if we connected, that would be the answer. But actually you have to connect to yourself first in order to connect to somebody else.
I was always lacking something, so let's go to a museum, or let's go to the movie, and let's do this together, or that
she
together.
Wanted to connect every time.
Doing things together was the idea to be connected, and now I discovered it's not true. Not in my wildest dreams I could have imagined what it brought us. Yeah.
I think Leora is an incredible facilitator. I think she holds the space really well. I think she's very powerful. And especially I think for Leora, she's very good at working one-on-one with somebody in the group setting and finding out what it is, that little key that helps unlock, resolve whatever's going on for them.
There's time to process and talk through what comes up for people during the workshop. And there's a lot of support from other staff members. And that's quite unique about Leora's way of teaching. And I really have so much respect for her ability to hold the space and to draw down insights that are just spot on for each participant in the process.
What I discovered also in Tantra, what feminine energy is and masculine energy, and we were not aware of that. So, for example, when we were making love, there was always this demand somewhere, to go somewhere, to a goal, having an orgasm in 10 minutes. And when it's not there, you see, it's a failure, this is not satisfying. And that concept completely turned around, and having pleasure is now just having pleasure. Nowhere to go, no goal. And that's the male demand on sexuality is not the female. And that's what I discovered. I always had this very male concept in my head. That is what I should achieve. And that was a misunderstanding.
Now I find as a tantric experience, my whole body seems to react to it. There's goose pimples all over my body. I have bubbles and bliss and wavelengths that go right the way through. It brings in a totally new dimension into the whole sex game.
As far as my approach to sex is concerned, yes, it's far more being in the process than having the goal so prominent as an aspect.
I think it's just. I think what it's enabled us to do is when we're having sex, we're just much more connected, more into each other, more aware of each other. There's probably all sorts of different techniques out there for sex, but being connected and being in the moment with the person is what it's about. Makes a huge difference. Makes it more intense.
Right, stop there.
So, okay. Sorry, okay.
I think since having done Tantra, I'm a lot more open around men, a lot more comfortable. I'm confident because I know that I don't need to protect myself anymore, because I can say no when I want to. And if you're not kind of walking around protecting yourself, then you can not need to have that barrier up and you can get closer to someone.
Yes, it has created more togetherness, but on a basis of yourself and not on a visualization of society, of media concepts,
how it should be,
how it should be, but more real in how you are and what you feel and what your feelings are.
And that makes a huge difference in our relationship. For example, when I sat on the couch with Olaf 2 years ago, I always felt uncomfortable. I'm not getting it. Something is missing. He's not understanding me. I always felt a tension. And it's completely disappeared.